Okay, I guess this is how this works. Um, then I'm gonna pop in a few places, I guess, and share this. Oh boy. Um, yeah. I'm going to post this on Facebook and Twitter and shit like that, I guess. Um, live stream question mark? Cool. Post. Oh god. What else do we have? I'm gonna share this to the Irrational Fears page and mute my computer because that's loud. Um, fuck it. Well, no. Hashtag Bill O'Reilly. Whatever. Just like Bill O'Reilly, we're doing it live. No sleep teams narration. Bam. Post that. I guess wait a second until there's a few people in here. I shared it to the wrong fucking page because I'm retarded. Jesus. Okay. Let's share to the correct page. Makes sense for it to go to Irrational Fears. Let's see. I'm doing a narration live on the YouTube now. Come on over, baby. Oh shit. I have to burp too. I don't want to be belching in anybody's fucking ears. This is the No Sleep Teams narration. Let's do this live and find out together what scares you, because I don't say that enough. Put the website down there. Oh boy, I'm gonna put a little, I think I'll put a little note or something that says when this shit starts. Make it public, obviously. That would probably help. Really don't need to fuck with any of the live shit, I guess. God, my back hurts. Okay, we have the chat over there. I wonder how that works. I'm gonna go to this one. Bang bang chat time. Guess we'll see if that pops up on the stream then. Oh, okay. And yeah, look at that. Okay, it does pop up. Cool. It's a bit of a stretch on how long it takes. 'Cause I'm not going to be able to chit chat with people if that's a thing that people are into. Let's do that. Come listen to me read a thing. This is awkward. I don't understand how people do this. I'm probably going to make a cover art too. Didn't think about that. I'm gonna do that. Okay. Oh, maybe I should message Mike because we are gonna do one of his stories. Where's he at? Where I'm going to do your No Sleep Teams winner. Oh god, I just sent him way too many messages. Oops. Hit enter like 47 times. Okay. So let's get the story pulled up here. Wonder if I can also quit some things to help chill my motherfucking computer out. Holy shit. That, and that. I guess we'll find out if the shit is too loud. Okay. And I need to record over here. I'm gonna see how loud that is. It's pretty loud. Stupid fucking computer. Okay. Just stop throttling so hard. Christ. Okay. Alright, fuck it. I guess we'll just go. Except I really need my computer to calm down. Oh, day in the life. This is a lot of fun. Oh, fuck. Something for my back because this pillow or this chair is like super fucking uncomfortable. And that article was not helpful. And actually, before I do that, I'm gonna test something here. Where I throw just a fucking compressor on here, I guess. I'll grab that one. No, it's not a compressor. Dipshit. You want an equalizer. It's almost like I've never... What the fuck? Where's my recently used? Press bus multiband compressor. See if I can take that down. Jesus Christ. What? I wonder what band it's on. Maybe this one. Can I loop play this? Is that a thing? Yeah, okay. No, alright, fuck it. Let's just stop that. Delete that. And yeah, we'll just do some magical editing magic on this bitch. Alright. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Or so they say. That all looks good. Alright, we're gonna start recording, and I'm just gonna hope that I can fix that shit in post, because it's really loud. Okay, so this one is called My Grandfather's Basement. This was NoSleep Teams round like 5 or 6. I believe I'll have it in the episode itself when it goes up. Oh, I never got anything for my back. That's okay. I think I'll be alright. Here we go. We were never allowed to go in my grandfather's basement growing up. I can remember the curiosity I felt looking up at the door that led into the off-limits area, the paint chipping from its surface, and the padlock that held it closed. As a child, my mind raced with what he may be hiding down there. I remember one time my cousin told me that he had stolen Nazi gold from when he was a soldier in World War II, a bit of bullshit I actually believed until I got old enough to realize how ridiculous I was. Do that one again. I remember one time my cousin told me that he hid stolen Nazi gold from... I remember one time my cousin told me that he had stolen... No, he had hid... He had hid hood. Jesus Christ. Let's see. I should have still... this here, yeah, okay. So, okay, let's try it again. I remember one time my cousin told me that he hid stolen Nazi gold from when he was a soldier in World War II, a bit of bullshit I actually believed until I got old enough to realize how ridiculous I was. I'm actually going to put this in the chat so people can read along. I think that'd be cool. Alright, here we go anyways. I remember one time my cousin told me that he had hid God, this is embarrassing. It's the fucking third sentence of the story. I remember one time my cousin told me that he hid stolen Nazi gold from when he was a soldier in World War II. A bit of bullshit I actually believed till I got old enough to realize how ridiculous it was. Grandpa would always tell us it was just 'cause it was dangerous down there. He had old tools, the lights didn't work all that well, the steps leading down were busted, and it was just too hazardous for us kids. That didn't explain why my parents weren't allowed down there, though, and that always made me think he was hiding something special. Maybe it wasn't stolen Nazi gold, but I refused to accept that it was nothing more than tools. One night, when I was about 13, we were visiting my grandfather. We tried to visit him frequently since my grandmother had passed on a few years earlier, and my parents liked to keep him company. I had been sleeping on the couch when I woke up to use the bathroom, half asleep and stumbling back from revealing myself. I passed by the door that led to the basement. Oh, okay, that sentence makes a lot more sense. I had been sleeping on the couch when I woke up to use the bathroom. Half asleep and stumbling back from relieving myself, I passed by the door that led to the basement. Suddenly, from somewhere deep in the dark behind the door, I heard a noise. I turned to look at the white door with its peeling paint, the moonlight shining through the opposite window, glinting off the padlock and its handle forever forbidden. Slowly, I leaned over and pressed my ear to the door and felt warmth from beyond as I lay my hands flat against it. The sound continued. A faint scratching, as if someone were dragging a metal nail over concrete. Hello? I whispered, unsure why I would think anyone would be down there with the padlock still locked tight on the outside of the door. The scratching stopped as if in response to my voice, and I waited a few moments in silence. I could feel my heart thumping in my chest. Just as I went to take my ear from the door and go back to sleep, thinking it was a rat or some other animal who found its way in, I heard a whisper. Hello. A faint, soft voice like a child spoke out to me. My voice, along with the rest of my body, was shaking. Who's there? I asked. Suddenly felt... I suddenly felt very unsafe standing in the hallway. There was someone inside the house. Inside the locked basement of the house, no less. That didn't belong. Susie, the voice answered back, though it sounded more like Susie. Peter, you sound strange. Why do you sound strange? Oh, that's the girl, okay. Peter, you sound strange. Why do you sound strange? She asked. I'd never heard anyone call him Peter. Oh, you know what? I noticed that, Dodo. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm using OBS, and I am not super sure how to fix that without it being... Oh, I don't know. I muted it. Yeah, I honestly have no idea how to fix that. I think it's because my my audio interface has 2 inputs, so it's just taking my microphone in the left input. I don't think that OBS has any settings to change it to stereo. Sorry. Go back in here. Turn off the loop, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm a terrible person. I'd never heard anyone call him Peter. He was Grandpa Pete, and everyone I'd ever known had called him by his shortened name. He insisted on it. I'm Peter's grandson. What are you doing in there? Are you okay? Who are you? She started laughing and didn't stop. In the dead quiet, it shocked my ears with its echoing volume. It sounded forced, like someone was pumping her lungs with an old-fashioned bellow. I hated it immediately. Oh, it's plural, bellows. Or it's one. I don't know, I've never looked at the word. It sounded forced, like someone was pumping her lungs with an old-fashioned bellows. I hated it immediately. I wanted it to stop, but I didn't have a chance against the padlock. So I ran instead. Up the stairs to where my parents were sleeping. I dove into bed with them, waking them both up. I couldn't hear the terrible girl's laughter anymore. The hell? My dad yelled as my elbow smacked his head as I tried desperately to get under the covers. What is it? My mom asked. I started, but I knew immediately that I couldn't tell them. I couldn't tell anyone in my family. So I said that I had had a nightmare. Dad groaned that I was too old for this shit, and Mom reassured me that there was nothing to worry about. I hoped that she was right. I worked hard to try to forget what I'd heard, or at least convince myself that it was just a nightmare, but I'll tell you this. The truth does not like to be hidden. There's a plane roaring over my apartment right now. I don't know if it's something that can be heard over there, but I can definitely hear it here. Boy. I avoided that door like the plague for a while. I didn't hear Susie's laugh, if you can really call something like that a laugh. It must have been weeks or even months worth of visits that I sat in my bed at night, no matter how bad I had to use the bathroom. Eventually, the memory of Susie was rationalized into a sleep-drunk delusion brought on by too many of my cousin's stories. I went to the bathroom. It was late. It was late. The moon shone. The moan? It was late. The moon shone through the windows. I passed the basement door. I didn't hear anything, but something deep inside me told me to check it out again. I inspected the lock in silence. Nothing unusual. I waited for Susie to speak. I waited longer. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20, 40, an hour. Dead silent. I went back to the living room and sprawled on the uncomfortable flower print couch Grandpa had kept for years. Something wouldn't let me sleep. Usually, my head hits the pillow and I'm gone, but not that night. The cable box read 2:02 a.m. in square red letters. I heard scratching. I can't tell you exactly how I know, but it was exactly the same as I'd heard before. It wasn't coming from the door. It kept going. Something popped up, sorry. Hey, Christy, thanks. It kept going. The rhythm grew a little more aggressive and the tone was different. I crawled around on the floor, tilting and turning my head. The heat duct. She must have been scratching at the heating duct. I know you're there, grandson of Peter. I jumped back from the heating vent in surprise. Jesus Christ. She'd crawled out of the basement now, up into the ducts. She knew where I was in the house. What do you want? I stammered into the darkness. Free me, grandson, came her voice, like a childish whisper again. Please free me. I want out. Peter won't let me out. And then a soft, sad sound. One I didn't recognize at first. Crying. The sound of a child sobbing quietly in the air vent, echoing inside the long passage of the duct in the floor like it was some creature's throat, bouncing off the metal walls. How? I said. I just wanted her to stop. I just wanted this madness to end. I knew none of this made any sense. How could a little girl crawl up to the air vent? She'd never fit in there, and Grandpa Pete would never keep a little girl locked up in the basement. Or would he? Just how much did I really know about my own grandpappy anyway? Apparently not a whole lot, Jesus. No, this was all nonsense. Nonsense. A hallucination, a dream. Maybe if I played along, it would all go away. The key, came the voice up out of the duct. He wears the key to the door on a chain around his neck. You have to steal it. To free me. Please free me. I just want to get out. It's so dark in the basement, and I just want to be free again. Not really believing what was happening, I agreed. Okay, I said into the darkness. I'll do it. I rose from the couch. I crept slowly up the stairs, compelled by a mixture of fear and curiosity. None of what was happening made any sense in my head, and I just wanted to find out the truth about my grandfather and the girl. I tried to think of logical reasons as to why he may be keeping her locked up, but any scenario my mind could conjure was far too disturbing to settle on for long. I felt like there was a bug in my nose. Jesus. I reached the top step and peered down the hallway. Moonlight bathed the path to my grandfather's room in an eerie glow that gave me a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. I walked slowly, each creak and groan of the floorboards beneath my feet threatening to wake someone up and make me want to run back down the stairs and hide under the covers until morning. I passed the room my parents were sleeping in. I could hear snoring coming from inside and breathed a little easier. At least my father was in a deep sleep. I kept going past pictures hung up in the halls, pictures of my father when he was young, my grandma and grandpa smiling together. Did they know? Did they know what was going on in the basement? I reached the outside of my grandfather's room and stood silently in front of the door. I pressed my ear to the wood and listened, but couldn't hear anything from inside. No snoring, no groans of sleep, nothing. My heart thumped wildly in my chest as I turned the doorknob and slowly opened the door. I slid inside like a thief. Each step as quiet as could be, each movement as slow as possible. I reached the side of my grandfather's bed and saw him laying there on his back, hands over his chest, and his eyes closed in deep, still sleep. I could see the chain around his neck and reached out with my thumb and forefinger ever so gently, picking it up and pulling on it to see what was on the other end. I prayed as the chain slowly slid from underneath his nightshirt that I would see a pendant or a ring, anything but a key, anything that would allow me to stop this madness and just go back downstairs and pretend I'd never started this little journey. That fucking breath fucked me up. Anyways, I prayed as the chain slowly slid from underneath his nightshirt that I would see a pendant or a ring, anything but a key, anything that would allow me to stop this madness and just go back downstairs and pretend I never started this little journey. But as I ran out of chain to pull and the small silver padlock key came into view, there was no turning back. I unclasped the chain, careful not to wake him up as I did so, and removed it from around his neck with as much care as I could. I stood holding the key in my hands for a few moments before turning to walk away. No matter what the truth was, I was going to learn it. I was going to find out what was going on. I made it one step before I felt a strong hand grip my shoulder. "You spoke to her, didn't you?" My grandfather's voice suddenly filled my ears. It sounded shaky and filled with fear. I turned around to meet... I guess I could do that again then, huh? "You spoke to her, didn't you?" My grandfather's voice suddenly filled my ears. It sounded shaky and filled with fear. I turned to meet his eyes, and they were open wide and vibrant, shining with madness, even in the dark. "You spoke with that thing." Formidable even in his old age, his iron hands pulled me on top of the bed. His elbows, knees, fists, even his head were used to strike me. The twisted blankets tangled around as I tried to crawl away, and the pillow he pressed into my face made it impossible to breathe. Though my lungs were burning with exhaustion... Oh, that's a fucking weird sentence. It's hard to tell commas and periods apart, isn't it? Totally. The twisted blankets tangled around as I tried to crawl away, and the pillow he pressed into my face made it impossible to breathe, though my lungs were burning with exhaustion. My left shoulder popped sickeningly deep inside the socket, and I saw stars behind my eyelids. I still believe to this day that he would have killed me. He was a killer. A real warfighter. Somehow I'd never believed it before that moment. I'd heard the stories, but thought that surely he'd changed long ago. Surely the real grandpa was the one who'd taught me to fish and told me the best dirty jokes as a kid. Not this wild animal on top of me. My father yanked my grandfather off of me with enormous effort. I could hear before my vision returned as I lay there gasping. My father was screaming. My grandfather was crying. It made no sense, any of it. My mother scooped me up like she had when I was a child. Dad stood, chest heaving, between my grandfather and I, but I could still see him. He was curled up into a ball, back against the closet door, rocking, stroking his hair and beard while he babbled and drooled, and most of all, cried. Yeah, okay, that's where I was. Sorry. My mother had called 911, and they took us each away. Me in an ambulance and he in a squad car. The paramedics told me that I was bleeding and that I needed to relax. When I opened my hand, I found the key sunk a quarter-inch into the flesh of my palm. Grandpa had kept quiet about the key when they were dragging him off, and I followed suit. What if it was something Dad was in on? The possibilities got somewhat worse than before. I stashed the key in the couch while no one was paying attention. So, what happened? My dad asked. I went in to ask him about something, and he started yelling something about the Krauts. Oh, the Krauts. Oh, that said Kratos. I went in to ask him something, he started yelling about the Kratos. Goddamn motherfucking Kratos. I went in to ask him about something, and he started yelling something about the Krauts. I lied. Maybe it's about time we get some help for Grandpa then. We stayed the night again. Grandpa stayed the night in a We stayed the night again. Grandpa stayed the night on a psychiatric watch. I waited for my mom and dad to pass out. I snuck down through the house. No moonlight that night, just darkness. And I rattled the lock a little. You got the key, Susie chanted in that little girl voice. Please let me out. I couldn't shake the way Grandpa said that thing when he figured out I knew about Susie. Why does Grandpa keep you down there? I don't know, she groaned. He tricked me down here and won't let me out. I had to do it. I had to let her out. After all that had happened and all that I'd done, it was too late to turn back now. To leave her down there forever. To leave the mystery unsolved. Was she even real? Or would turning the key in the lock open the door to reveal nothing? That Susie had been nothing but a figment of my imagination. That I was losing my mind. I heard my father's snoring drone down the hall as I took the key from my pocket. My hand was shaking and I nearly dropped it. I heard Susie's soft whispering rising up from beneath the crack in the bottom of the door. Free me. Please just free me. I've been down here for so long. The key fit perfectly and my hand shook all the more as I turned it. Every part of my body was singing with electricity, with rushing adrenaline as I slowly removed the lock. I turned the handle. The door swung open. It was like looking at a different version of myself. Same brown eyes, same freckled cheeks and sandy hair, only hers was longer, dirty and matted, falling to her shoulders. And her face looked older, tired. There were wrinkles on it that shouldn't have been there for a child her age, and dark bags under her eyes where the shallow skin of her face sagged. Susie? I said. You freed me, she said. She just stared at me in a stunned silence. We stood there, eyes locked on each other in the dimness, unmoving, neither of us knowing what to say or do. I was still trembling. Who are you? She hugged me. I'm finally free, she said. You freed me. You freed me. It's me. I love you, brother. Gross. Why? Why does Grandpa have children locked in his basement? Why does he think that's okay? Why is Kratos a thing? Oh boy, I want that on a shirt. Just Kratos across the chest. Yes. And it'll go right under syrup, or over syrup boys. Kratos and then syrup boys. Yeah. That's the stuff. I don't know how this works. I don't know how to stop this. I figured out how to start it. Go there. Go there. Because I think that my computer is very hot. Yes, it is. Okay, well, that was fun. We've been going for 36 minutes. I feel like I should stop. Why am I still recording audio? This is July. What's this story called? I know it's called My Grandfather's Basement. I have so many windows open, it's not my fault. Basement. That's a weird fucking word, too. My grandfather's basement. Feel uncomfortable saying that. Okay, that's saved. I could probably do a new one. Browse for file. It's in here somewhere. Why does my computer think I'm scrolling in the wrong window? Drop that in there. And then look, I will rub my man tits however I feel is necessary. I can mark that one as recorded now. Bitchin'. Maybe, if I have a fucking thing here. Recent episodes. NoSleep teams. Done and done. Yes, okay, so this was round 9. I wasn't even close. Oh boy. Anyways. I suppose that that's a thing. I guess that's how I can stop it now, because I did the story. Maybe do another one later. I don't know.